Welcome to the Own Your Best Life podcast. I'm May Emson, your host, leadership and mindset coach. Here, we talk all things spiritual, mindset, business, leadership, and wellness for the modern seeker who wants to align their life with purpose and inspiration. We'll cover career changes, stress management, meditation, energy, intuition, and more. Each episode holds spiritual and practical tools to help you live a life of your wildest dreams without getting burnt out along the way. Ready to live a life on your own terms? This is the Own Your Best Life podcast. Welcome, friends, to episode number 46 of the Own Your Best Life podcast. I am currently in Hawaii right now, so it is going to be a little bit different in terms of sound quality. So I appreciate you hanging in there and listening regardless. So this episode is one that I have really felt is going to make a big difference in your life. If you've been on the cusp of change and wanting to feel like you're moving forward in the direction of your desires, you've likely felt like you just want to know how to do it. How do I finally get my love life back on track? How do I change my career? How do I become more confident? How do I have less anxiety? How do I decide what to do next? How? And while there are specific strategies for each one of these questions, today I'm going to share one overarching pattern of behavior that will help you radically change your life. So, radical changes can feel overwhelming. They can feel scary. They feel like you are moving into a place where you are no longer safe, a place where you don't have the systems and you don't have the structures that may have been supporting you your entire life. And whether that system is a boss, whether that system is behaviors like drinking or gossiping or eating or ruminating, whether that system is your friends or patterns like burning yourself out or engaging in unhealthy relationship behaviors, we all have systems. And these systems may have been picked up from our experiences or taught to us by society. They may also be the way that everyone else behaves, and they may be also the way that you've connected with others in the past. Either way, they are actually all here for a reason. All of these patterns served a purpose. They were supporting our existence, and radical changes often require that we break these patterns. Radical changes require that you do something else. They require a change. So why do we get into a place where we desire radical change, yet it doesn't happen? Whether you want to become a thought leader, an industry leader, or a self-leader, or just not feel so overwhelmed by life and all the decisions you need to make, it can seem impossible. It can seem like it's not for you and that it will never happen. It can seem like this life of ease or vitality, purpose, passion, and joy are out of reach right now. And I remember when I was looking to change careers, the people that seemed like they were doing the work in the world that was similar to what I wanted to do didn't look like me or have my set of circumstances. They didn't have families, they hated their corporate jobs, they had different desires, and they were, and you can insert basically anything that wasn't me at the time. What I realized, though, was that these were all excuses. If we want to radically change our lives, we have to stop making excuses. So what is an excuse? Well, an excuse is the reason that you won't take the first step. It's the reason you take the first step, but you don't take the second step. Excuses are what come up every single day, thousands of times throughout the day. All these excuses show up. There are just so many moments in a single day that we can make excuses. And all of these excuses are the decisions that shape our lives and create what we call our fate. I'm just not that type of person. I don't have time. I'm too old. I'm too young. I have a family. I don't have a family. I don't have money. And the thing most people don't realize, though, is this one nuance. An excuse isn't inherently good or bad. They come up as thoughts, and that's just what they are. You decide whether or not this excuse is good or bad. Some people may think that the family situation is the best thing in the world and they long for it. Others may think it's the worst. Who is right? Neither. And when you start to see that your excuses weren't meant to stop you, but rather to ask you how you want to work with these circumstances, your life begins to change. If you're too busy to cook a healthy meal, the question becomes, how can I eat healthy with less time? It doesn't mean don't do it at all or that it's not meant for you. Radically changing our lives means that we work through our excuses. We let them become the way that we make this thing sustainable. Extreme diets don't work, not because they are extreme, but because you don't like them. Someone who is a vegetarian could be considered to have an extreme diet to an omnivore. And it's all a matter of language and it's all a matter of perspective. And if you think of that one thing in your life that you want, what are your excuses for not taking the next steps when you look at each fear, concern, and worry? Can you do it with curiosity? Can you do it with a sense of patience for it? Can you observe them without judgment and begin to think through how you would work through it? Because criticism and judgment will stop you in your tracks. It will create a narrative on unworthiness that is self-perpetuating and will not help you in this radical change that you're looking to accomplish. And maybe your path ends up looking different as a result of working through these obstacles and through these excuses. That different looking path is not a failure. You are meant to do the thing you want to do your way with your circumstances. You get to integrate all of you into this life instead of separating it all into a place of good or bad, failure or success. So let your excuses be the road you walk down to make this thing finally stick this time. And when you drop the excuses by making them work for you and your life, you finally achieve the consistency that you desire. And in doing so, your life will begin to look radically different. Maybe you do care about having money to support you. Maybe you care about taking care of your family and having them along for the ride. Maybe you care about creating a space for a personal life of your own. Maybe you don't have a ton of time because you have a lot of other obligations. I created the change that I wanted to see by taking steps forward in spite of and with my set of circumstances. They weren't all perfect steps, but I learned from each one. And when I felt burned out, I realized that maybe I needed to slow down and create more space in my life. When I was worried about my health, I had to decide what standards I wanted for my physical health in my life. When I overworked or overate or overexercised or underdid all or any of these things, I had to deal with them. I had to observe them and not ignore them. And that in and of itself is a choice. You can decide to see what is coming up for you and work through it, or you can decide to just have those things come up and never work through it. And just so you know, it's not a perfect balance of all the things all the time. That perfect balance is not what moves you forward. Moving forward is dealing with each thing that comes up with a sense of gratitude, with a sense of patience, with a sense of determination, a sense that there is a way, and a sense that there is always a way. And my most beautiful moments came when I integrated those things that I thought were my biggest excuses. My excuses, I now realize, were also my desires wrapped up in a bow saying, if you work with me, you'll have everything that you want. And the things that I've become expert in and best in class at are those which I've struggled with the most. It's created a life where I do have all that I desire, even if I'm hungry for another level of impact or service or passion or wealth or creation. Your energy, my friends, is best spent on bringing your desire to life by caring about your excuses, not beating yourself up about all the things that look like they're in your way. So maybe, and just maybe, the thing that you desire ends up looking radically different than what you thought it would look like when you originally started. And I would challenge you to consider that perhaps that is why all your past attempts never stuck. Let the radical change be radically changed again and again and again and again. And in doing so, it might become an even more true and authentic version of you, which may just be why we were in search of that radical change in the first place. All right, my friend. So thank you so much for joining me this week. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Of course, share it with someone that you think would benefit from hearing about how you can make radical changes in your life. And if you or someone else resonates with this content and you want to know how to apply it to your life, you can always schedule a complimentary one-on-one session with me here at www.mayamson.com/contact. Be patient because limited spots are available, but they are available at some point. So I hope to be able to talk to you and meet with you and get to know you a little bit better. And so again, mahalo and thank you so much. And I'm joining you guys all here from Hawaii this week. So I send you so much love and so many blessings. Wishing you all a wonderful, wonderful week. And I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks so much for joining us this week on Own Your Best Life. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts so that you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, can you please rate and review on iTunes? I would so appreciate it. Share it with a friend, take a screenshot of it, and tag @MayEmson. This helps continue to get the word out. For more show notes and resources, check out www.mayemson.com. It'll have all the links to everything you heard here today. Thanks so much for listening. It's time to own your best life.